Hey, what's up, guys? Before I start this video, I'd like to ask you guys to like, comment, subscribe. So today, like always, every Friday, we do talk about the stock market. We talk about everything I was doing this week, and we had a pretty interesting week. I can now no longer do Coinbase calls like I said last week, and I am now starting to do Coinbase puts. I mean, selling puts on Coinbase. I cannot sell more puts on Coinbase because the price of Coinbase is way too high. So I'm gonna be spending way too much money on these puts. Because I typically like to do a weekly one and try to make around $50. Right now, if we were to look at Coinbase and we were going to make $50, our spending on next week would be 8,800, which is a lot of money. So I decided to switch it up, and we're switching over to a different stock, which now we're doing Roku instead. Roku is an interesting stock as well. It's been going up and down today. This whole week has been pretty up and down. This is a weekly. It's pretty decent. It's been going up and down right now. It is literally almost the same as it was in the start of the week. So not that big of a difference in change here. So we made our money, and now we're considering moving on to this stock because we can't afford the other one. So now instead of spending 88,000 or 8,800, we're spending 7,000. Which next week, if Roku stays about the same price, next week we will be looking at spending roughly, let's look at $50, 6,100, which is more reasonable than 8,800. So that's what we're gonna be doing next week. Also, if Roku stays the same, I did also was talking about these spreads, this credit spreads, and we did actually pretty bad in this credit spread. The last one we had open, it was really, really bad. We actually lost a good amount of money, but we're trying to recover this money and continue doing these spreads because we are taking really low risk on these spreads. So this week I was forced to sell our spread at a big loss because we were kind of in the money. We can look at it through here. So I took a, where is the loss? It actually doesn't show our loss, which is kind of interesting. Let me look at maybe orders, search. Oh, here it is. So on the 19th, I was forced to sell off this contract 9 days after we opened it at an $832 loss, which seems kind of bad, yeah, but we have made money on these contracts before, so we made 96 here. We've made 75 here. We've made money, so we're not at a big loss. I'm pretty sure I calculated it. Okay, guys, so I started adding up all the numbers of all our credit spreads on SPY so far, and currently we're at an 800 or 400. We were at an $832 loss, but with all the profits we made 291 so far on these contracts. So now we're down to $541, which is a good amount of money, but we're trying to keep making more money forward. So right here I have another spread. I didn't calculate this yet, but it'll be 75 minus the amount we put in this contract, because you always got to sell these at 1 cent when they close to expiration, or once the data or once the stock goes down in value. Because right now we are at 473. SPY is currently trading at 452, 3, something around that point. Which technically we didn't even have to close the spread here because this spread was at 456, but I closed it out because the rule I am thinking is we need to close out these contracts once they hit $1 under our um our strike here. So it needs to hit 455 before we sell off. That is a rule I am taking, because if this went terrible and this went to 457 or 458 at the worst, or even higher, we would have lost way more money. And instead of losing our whole $1,600, we lost 800, which is about half, which is still bad, but we are trying to recover that right now. And right now we've made $75 off of this, so it's not doing too terrible. We are trying to recover this money back. So this is 15 contracts. So even then we would add like 75, which we would be down 744. Then we would do minus the 15 because we have to sell back at $1 each. So we would be at $481 loss, and the next time we would do again another 75 dollars, and we would continue that until we are back to break even and hopefully back to making profit. That is hopefully our idea. If we do end up losing $1,000 on the spreads, then I will then stop doing them and only consider doing our covered calls and cash secure puts that we are currently doing now. Because we have been in a pretty good recovery still. I am talking about mostly Riot is doing pretty decent. Bank of America is doing pretty good. Ford kind of went down a little bit, but that's not bad for us because we're selling covered calls on Ford, and right now our 14 strike call is pretty decent because it's not going to get called away right now, but I might have to extend that to 450 just in case so we don't lose out on those shares. I want to keep those shares as well as these 13.5s. Both of these, this one and this one down here, both need to extend those forward. So right now I am in the spread like I said. We can check our spread right now and see what is the total value. So right now we have we're selling this at 1. We're doing pretty good on it actually. We could look at SPY again, and I think it shows you more details there. Yeah, we're pretty much at complete full profit on this so far. So we would be making $60 for this. But that's pretty much how this week went, guys. I also added a new indicator type thing, not indicator, but Robinhood introduced this function where you could track your account value versus SPY, and you can see how you are doing against SPY. So what account, if your account's doing better than SPY, typically if your account's doing better than SPY, that means you are beating the market, and that's a good thing because we all want to beat the market, and that's the goal. If we are under beating the market, we might as well have just buy SPY. So on the weekly basis, SPY is beating us, which is okay, not that terrible, but on the monthly basis, we are actually beating SPY currently, which is good because that means that we are up. SPY is up 4% this month, and we are up 11%. In the 3 months span, we are also beating SPY. We are up 23% versus SPY being up 9%. Also, year to date, since January, we are up 104%, while SPY is only up 18%. So that means we're doing pretty good. Our yearly is actually above SPY by 68%. SPY is at 13. It's actually pretty interesting to track because, like I said, SPY is generally what people compare their trading to. So if you're above SPY, that means you're considered a good trader. All time, I don't believe we are close to SPY. We're actually under SPY, underperforming SPY, which, yeah, eventually, hopefully we could get above SPY. SPY overall, since my account has been around, SPY has been above us 44%. We're at 10. So we need to catch up to SPY by 30%. But hopefully we get there one day. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next week.